We, the football stakeholders, I'm talking of football stakeholders because I've been mandated from our last meeting, assert that the purported FKF county elections are neither legitimate nor credible, neither free nor fair, and are therefore invalid, null and void. We, football stakeholders, dismiss the entire process and the results thereof with the contempt it deserves and consignee it to the dustbin of history. We call all the 47 county governments of Kenya to join the rest of Kenyans and the football stakeholders in rejecting in totality the sham FKF election results. We call on all football stakeholders to remain calm and focused as we wait for the ruling of the disputes tribunal on this Tuesday, 17, 2020, so that we can give the way forward. We do not want to preempt the ruling because we respect the law of this country, and that's why we have not been able to break that law. FKF went to court, or the tribunal, to be allowed to continue with the elections, which they were not given. So it is really absurd. It is absurd for these FKF officials to proceed with an illegal elections. As I speak now, we have more than 5,000 clubs which have been left out. In this country, FKF admits, they admitted in court that they have 6,000 registered clubs as per the record. But the clubs which have been enlisted to vote are only 1,000. So what happens to the rest of the 5,000 clubs? This is a sham. Over 5,000 clubs have been left out in their own illegal purported election. We are actually quoting an impending ban from FIFA regarding Amroche's payment. It's going to be serious. It's going to be ugly. Serious and ugly. We as Kenyans, we are not going to sit down and so that one man or a bunch of few individuals ruin football in this country. It's not acceptable. We will tell the Kenyans the way forward immediately after the ruling on 17th, and expect very, very, very serious options. Adela Amroche was suspended by CAF when I was in the office. And when he was suspended, it took a long time for his suspension to be lifted because he went to court, he went to CAS, he went to FIFA, he went everywhere. Now, when he was suspended by CAF, we didn't have a choice but to employ another coach by the name of Bob Williamson on temporary basis, which we did. And it was very clear to Williamson, it was very clear to government, it was very clear to everybody else that Williamson was going to be there on what we call a temporary basis or acting capacity. When Amroche's suspension was lifted, after going through all those processes, and that was towards the end of my term, it was actually about a week left before we go for elections. What did I do in my office? We approached the government. I approached the minister then, Dr. Wario, and the permanent secretary, and told them that now, since Amroche's suspension has been lifted, the only logical thing we can do is to reinstate him so that we don't incur unnecessary expenses. And they agreed. So they told me to do a letter, which I did to the ministry. The ministry acknowledged it. Nick Mwenda, after elections, when he won, the first thing I told him with the minister and the PS is that, please, what you do, there's a potential problem here, which is Amroche's problem. You reinstate him. Let him be reinstated and pay Williamson his outstanding salary and let him go. What did Nick do? He didn't even heed my advice. So he went and even sacked Williamson and employed someone from Kariobangi Sharks, because I know he wanted to employ someone from Kariobangi Sharks in the name of Okumbi. who took football to the dogs. And and then he sacked Williamson. That was the disgrace. That's what they did, and he's squarely responsible. This Nick Mwendwa should be personally sued. It is a personal responsibility. He should take personal responsibility. He should pay Amroji from his pocket. And we are likely to move to court as stakeholders to force him pay Amroji from his personal resources, because it was a very serious negligence.